Raise your hand.
We have a great matchup this week. Going cross country to go play in New England is going to be a really nice opportunity for us. Again, going on the road, we got to get good at this, and this is about as far as we can go, and about as good a team as we can play. And so it's going to be a great matchup, I hope. And we plan on putting together a really good week here. A little bit of a shortened week, so we adopt a little bit of a change in the schedule. But other than that, it's going to be a really cool preparation. We're looking forward to it. Thanks.
How's Russell feeling this week, Pete?
He looks good. He really does look good. He feels. He continues to feel just farther away and freer from the stuff's been nagging on him. So he looks normal. So we're anxious to put some weeks back to back like that, and so it's a good deal.
You expect Cam to be able to practice this week?
Yeah, Cam is practicing.
Today?
Yes.
What stood out on film just with the way the offense played and kind of got things going the last game?
What was the start of that?
What stood out on film when you looked at the way the offense played in the last game?
Well, we were much more explosive. We cranked out some pretty big plays and 9 or so explosives, which is getting back to what feels to be normal. And I think the movement, Russ was obvious. Bev did a great job calling plays, and it stood out that we weren't effective running the ball. The balance wasn't there like we're looking for. We're going to keep working for it. Defensively, it was another long, hard night of football, and our guys are pretty well battle-tested by now. We play a lot of plays, and these guys can hang. We made it through it healthy for the most part, and what could we go up against now? It's going to be longer or harder than that. This last month or so we played, so we're going to kind of take the positive look at that, and we're getting in pretty good shape by now.
Are you seeing a cumulative effect of all those snaps that the defense is playing? Not that it's an excuse, but are you seeing it show up in just different ways with that time of possession?
No, like I said, I think we're getting stronger. I mean, if we've endured it, and then we're in pretty good shape. If we can get a game of 60 or 70 plays, it's going to seem like a lark. So we'll see if we can change it a little bit.
You've talked in the past about the consistent success, owning the division, all that, and those old Bills teams you admire. In this era with free agency, salary cap and everything, what the Patriots have done, how impressive is that?
Yeah, nobody's done it better than they have, and it's been of course I've watched it very intensely over the years, and really admired the job that they've done and the consistency that they've found, and it's a great tribute to the coaching. It really is, because Bill's been the constant. He and Tom have been the constants through that, and coaches have changed under him, and players have changed, but the consistency of their performance and the level and style of performance has always stayed at the top level, and so we've admired that for a long time.
How does their ability to have both Gronkowski and Bennett on the field at the same time, I think, how do you guys prepare for that?
We're going to prepare normally. It's they're both really good players. The system, really works their guys around to suit their style of play, and Tom is great at utilizing his guys in that manner. So we have to have a real good understanding of their strengths and their kind of the ways that they do their things, and respect it and try to take care of it. See if we can keep them controlling the game.
Is there any other offenses you can think of you face that have used two tight ends as much as they have, and use those guys as a big part of their offense like that?
I don't know. There's a lot of teams that use two tight ends. That's pretty common. It's the way that it's the way they do it and the guys they have, and the quarterback that delivers a rock to them. They can do just about whatever they want to do, running routes and concept wise, and they do it. Very smart team, and they utilize their guys really well. So
How's the third?
I could go all the way back to the Redskins back when they first started. When they started using two tight ends, but I don't think that's the right comparison. Donnie Warren, remember those guys?
How's the 39-year-old Tom Brady look compared to the last?
He looks great. Really, he's on fire. He hasn't thrown an interception yet. He's completed 70-something% of his passes. He's on fire. He's even taken off and run a couple times just to show that he can, and he looks good moving around. So you see no wear at all. If anything, he's fresh and ready to go.
There's so many challenges facing him from a defense. What's the biggest challenge facing him?
It's everything. It's really everything that they do, and really the system is one that they're really again, I say they're really smart because they do the right things against their opponents, and they make you really have to work, and they tax you. They know what they're doing as well as anybody playing the game. and Tom can carry it out and execute it and utilize the calls and the matchups and the principles and all of that. It's really impressive.
On my earlier question about the Patriots, you guys obviously have a good run going as well. The way this league's set up to keep that from happening, what's the key to not regressing to the mean?
I think it's kind of like a philosophy, staying true to who you are and all. I mean, look at their teams; they haven't changed much over the years. Now there are changes; they've been from 3-4 to 4-3 at times and done some stuff when they need to, but their ability to stay kind of looking like the same football team for the last 8 or so years, 10 years, whatever it is, I think that's a remarkable accomplishment. And I mean, it's probably longer than that now, but. Because they've been able to fit things together and stay true to who they are and never waver, So it's that's a big challenge, and then the core players that allow you to stay like that, and stay true to it. But their core players have changed, over the years for a good part. But there's a couple guys that are the same, and of course the number one factor is Tom Brady. He's been extraordinary and all time, in his years. But I think that's staying true, and you get better at it. You get better at what you do and how you do things, and you can add on and you learn so much. You can grow from your experiences and use those resources and stuff. So it's all that.
Does the Super Bowl come up in any way this week at all, or just kind of the?
We're studying the film, of course, but we go all the way back. We played them a few years ago too. We're studying all that.
You mentioned after the game, kind of you guys feel you need to run the ball to get where you need to be. As a coach, how do you balance kind of working on what you're best at as a team, throwing the ball, and improving an area of the game that you think is important, like running?
I'd like to think that I balance that really well, but it's not showing right now, so I need to do some work there. Was that the essence of the question you asked?
What do you do to try and balance those two desires?
You have to stay with it. We have to keep working towards what we want to get done. We had 40-something plays again. And it's been a season of out of balance play totals, and there just wasn't enough chances. But that which we did wasn't done well enough too. So we have a lot of improvement to make, and we're just going to keep banging away at it. We know where we're going. We're just not quite getting on that track yet. So we'll see if we can pull it together.
Coaches are famous for taking from other coaches who've had success. Have you taken anything from Belichick and his style?
Coaches are famous for that?
Yes.
What have we taken? Yeah, I think trying to be really good at everything that you do, I think is probably something that, our teams are similar in some regards. If you look at a lot of numbers, you'll see there's a lot of similarities in there over the long haul, and that starts with taking care of the football and not giving it up, and getting it. We have, kind of similar turnover ratios over the years. There's stuff there that, I really admire the way they've been able to hang on to the ball. They've been great at not fumbling the football. And right now they haven't thrown an interception yet, if you can imagine that. And really, again, go back to the other question, staying true to who you are and what, your approach, so that you can be really good at it and you can kind of get it honed so you can do it well, regardless of what's going on the other side of you facing or as the changes come by. I think that's something that's similar.
Also, were there tactics and strategies that you admire that besides the big picture?
Sure. Yep. There is.
Pete, you kind of made the transition to CJ in the fourth quarter on Monday. Is that going to spill over to this game on Sunday night?
He's going to play a lot. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with what he's doing and how he's fitting in comfortably and handling things well. So he'll continue to play.
Just say that you're a pass-first football team right now, offensively?
No, we're trying to be a balanced team. I mean, the numbers are kind of looking that way a little bit, but we got a little different thought in our head, and eventually it'll show. We'll be back to the balance we want.
What have been the problems with third downs on defense lately?
Well, one of the big problems was what's happened on first and second down that's allowing them to have 7 third and shorts in a game, And if you look, we've had 13 third and 2 or lesses in the last 2 weeks. That's really hard to win like you'd like to on third down. That's the shortest distance that you can get on third down. And so we have to play better ball on earlier downs, and then we just got to get off when we have our chances, So, but it has been kind of a theme here that allowing these third and shorts and then not getting out of those. So that's really the focus.
Was Christian Michael banged up at all, or were you giving CJ extra turns, particularly in the second half?
Yes, C-Mike was fine. We were just playing guys.
As you're waiting on Rawls to come back, do you consider Procise and Michael even in the running game?
You'll see. We're gonna play them both.
Is Thomas going to be able to practice? for you today?
Thomas is already, he was out and walked through today, so he's starting to get some work done. We'll see how much he can do, and this tempo of this week is going to allow him to jump in there a little bit more, so I expect him to be out there.
On the Bills' last drive, they had a 3rd and 21, and they got 22. What happened on that play?
We blitzed, and we made a little mistake on the pressure and lost a rush lane, and he snuck out of there and just did what he does, you know. I was really impressed with Tyrod Taylor. He was really, really good. You make a mistake, he was able to take advantage of it. He slid out away from the pressure and then threw a strike on the sidelines for a great throw, you know, and gave him a whole second look. There was nobody around him. Once he clears the blitz, he's really got a lot of space, and he took full advantage of that.
Just to clarify, though, does Thomas have a chance to play this Sunday, or Thomas Rawls?
No. Clarify?
The tackling issues after the game on Monday, you said you gave a lot of credit to Taylor and McCoy for that. When you look back on it, is that sort of what stood out too, or is there another reason?
Yeah, we can do a lot better though. Our guy, fundamentally we didn't play as well as we like to. We don't want to give it all to them. You know, they're really good players and they did a nice job and all. But we're better than that. We can tackle better. We've been tackling really, really well all year, and we had a game that was not. Didn't resemble the kind of execution we've had on the perimeter and in open space and stuff like that. We can do better with that.
After getting a look at the tape on the Sherman punt or field goal block, what's your take on it after getting a better look?
Nothing different than really seeing it, you know. Once I understood, I was happy to see that Sherman, you know, got his hand on the ball. He really was trying to get the football. It was a very unusual situation timing-wise, and he tried to smother it, and he did the best he could, you know, not let him kick the football. And unfortunately, we ran into the guy. We all learned that they would see that differently if they looked at it again. We didn't hear a whistle. We didn't see that call, so he just went through the follow through with the play, and it was in an unusual situation because he was almost running by the kicker. He was there so early, and but that would have been an unnecessary roughness call to make if they were going to do something different than they did.
There was a play in the last play of the third quarter, I think. LaShawn McCoy appeared to go out of bounds and catch the ball inbounds. Did you see that, or was that something you couldn't have done anything with?
You know, we missed that in time to get it done. We did find it at the end, and by the time I got it, it was too late to make the call. I didn't have a great night on throwing the flag, you know, so I needed that one to make up for it, and we didn't get a chance to get it done. We should have, though, and we just didn't pick it up in time.
Big picture, halfway through the season, just how do you feel this team? Where do you feel like this team is?
I think we're disappointed that we haven't won every game that we had a chance. We've been right there with all of them. However, we're also fortunate to be where we are because every game's been as tight and could have gone either way. So to have a little bit of a feeling like we can control what's going on here from this point forward is a good thing. But we need to play better. We need to improve. And I'm really, really excited about second half coming up. I love the fact that Russell is coming out of the issues that he's been dealing with. We're getting Luke back. You'll see Thomas coming back. Cam's coming back. We've got guys coming back to us. Michael Bennett will be back in a week or two, so it's exciting to be making the turn, being in pretty good position, and we haven't found our best football yet. We have a lot to still accomplish, and it's going to be extremely challenging. We like this finished mode, and it's something that we take a lot of pride in. I'm counting on these guys really executing, playing great fundamental football down the stretch, and then we'll see where that leaves us at the end.
I believe this is your first time coaching in New England since you were there. Looking forward to that at all?
Yeah, I think it's a great place to go play football, and they're a great team, and it's a great setting and all of that, and I will look forward to that. Yeah, I think the club hasn't been there in years, and for us, it's a new experience. So it'd be a good day. It's going to be kind of cool and nice weather for football and all that. So it'd be a great day out there.
With Kevin Pierre-Louis coming back, does anything change at strong side linebacker this week at all, or?
Not necessarily, but it's great to have him back. He did get to play in the game and did well, so we just used him on special teams for the most part, but he'll be working his way back in.
Is Cassius Marsh all right? He got banged up on that punt play.
Yeah, he has a sore ankle. He won't work today, but we think he's going to make it for the game. We'll see what happens.
How do you think Brock Hoyle did Monday night?
He did a pretty good job. Yeah, he's learning his spot. Very disciplined about it. Had a couple plays that got away that he didn't see real well the first play of the game. Got him, but he did a pretty good job. He's running, hit, and made some good tackles and stuff. Had a sack in the game. Did a nice job.
Bradley Zal get back this week?
He's practicing. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll go day to day on that and see what that means for for game time.
How did George play in his second game?
Did pretty well. Yeah, he did well. He started a little slower than we like again, and once he settled down, he did a nice job. And you know, he's making a bid for himself. He's competing to play, and I'm fired up for that. And you know, it's a good story for everybody. But for us, we're just trying to get a left tackle play up, and he's working hard at it.
Where do you feel like the line is in run blocking right now?
We're not happy with just the whole thing. The running game just isn't where we need it, and it isn't any one aspect of it. We just need to do better in general, and we've been talking about this a long time. We need to get something done here.
Jimmy talked about after the game how we still think that there's more to give. He talked about his blocking. We saw some amazing plays. What else is there for Jimmy to show or to do?
He just wants to keep making things happen. You know, he's a marvelous kid to play with. He's had so much spirit and he's got such a great heart for helping his team, and that's what he's talking about. He thinks he can help more, he can find more ways to you know, create problems for our opponents. You know, he's had marvelous games this year. I don't know if anybody's playing any better than he is. He's doing a great job.
Pete, can Sal play right tackle for you?
Yes.
Or is he just strictly left?
He has played both ways, on both sides. Yeah.
You would potentially consider that?
He already works there some. He's already working there in case we need him.
What'd you learn about Russell, the way he bounced, you know, the Super Bowl play will obviously be shown a lot this week, the way he bounced back and the season he had last year after that?
Well, I think we continue to, you know, see him when you put him out there, you see him come through. You know, he comes through when, you know, whatever the challenges are, and he just will not be denied to participate, but also to excel. You know, and you know, that was a while ago now, and we've been through a lot since then, but. You know, I really can't say surprised me in any way because he's just been so consistent, and he's been there for his team every chance you get, and here he is with another set of circumstances this year that he's dealt with in marvelous fashion, just like our guys, you know, all will try to do, and but it's been exemplary and marvelous guy on your team.
Will you feel need to address the team managing their emotions after the election outcome?
Oh, we kind of already, you know. We've already talked about that. You know, it was going to be this big transition, whoever won, and so it's you know, it's a big challenge for the country to challenge to draw together and do the right thing moving forward and all that. And so we've been staying abreast of it all along. So everything moved smoothly today.
Any chance Luke Wilson
No
plays?
change in any of the electoral votes and anything as far as if the guys were concerned about it. No, we're not challenging any of that.
Any chance Luke Wilson plays this week?
Yeah, there is a chance. Yeah, Luke's going to practice. His mentality is going to go. We'll see how the week works for him, but he's all fired up today, so he's ready to come back.
Pete, the Giants a couple years back won the championship with the lowest rushing yards per game in the NFL. Do you feel like it's imperative to get that number up, or can you just keep winning the way you're winning now?
You can win all kinds of ways. Yeah, there's lots of ways to win. We know how we'd like to win, and we have a real strong thought about that. But you can do it. Yeah, obviously you can. They did it. I don't plan on being. That's not my idea of what we're trying to get done, and we're going to work hard not to. But it's a good observation.
What's the challenge for you between sticking to your philosophy, but then also maybe being adaptive to the strengths or weaknesses?
We just got to keep getting better. We got to keep improving, and we're trying to improve it as a football team in all areas. And some of them stand out more than others. But no, there's no challenge. It's just we just got to stay with it, make sure we make the right adjustments and stuff. Like you saw good adjustments from last week to this week, and what we did, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
How much of Monday night was Russell trusting to now throw the ball up to Graham, whether he's covered or not?
How much? How much? I mean, I think as much as he can. You know, he doesn't care who gets it, but he loves throwing the ball when Jimmy makes big plays. But so, you know, it was about 5 or 6 weeks ago when I told you that I thought that they really had clicked in and the chemistry had really taken hold, and I don't think there's any question about that. I think that they've shown that numbers of times. So I don't know.
Is that a factor that you just have to do it as a quarterback? You just have to do it in the game to see that he can catch those, and maybe in Russell's aversion to turnovers, you might not have done that before.
The answer to that is no. No, you don't have to wait 2 games. No. I'm practicing every day. We've been practicing for months and really going on years now.
USC Washington Saturday.
Oh, baby. That's a big matchup.
You had a chance to observe Clay at all, just what he's doing down there?
Yeah, heck yeah. Watching both sides, it's awesome. Watch Coach Peterson doing his thing. They're having an incredible year and playing great football, you know, in all facets against whomever they've got to go against. And it's been really fun to watch them. The Trojans have really caught fire here. They're going, and quarterback's doing really well since the quarterback changed. They really have moved ahead. The offense is really going. Defense is going. This is a good matchup now. It's a good game.
You mentioned Brady's lack of interceptions.
Dang, I hope we don't stay on the Trojans and the Huskies.
Russell only has 2 this year. His whole career, he's kept those numbers down. Maybe it's kind of obvious, but having a quarterback that can be productive without throwing a bunch of interceptions,
It's so important. I mean, you're seeing one of the great illustrations of why programs can be consistently winning, and without that, it just doesn't happen. You've got to have a great dedication and respect for the ball, and how you do that, and we're trying to exemplify this better than anybody's ever done it for over a long period of time, and keep cranking out that emphasis. And Russell leads the charge. He's got the ball in his hands every snap on offense. They are great at it too. And if all of the factors you want to get down to one, I would say that would be probably the most key and crucial factor for both our teams over the why we've been able to win some games and keep up there and keep challenging every year.
When you talked to the team about the election, when you talked to the team about the election, did you have to quell anything?
No, we didn't have an uprising. No, there was no uprising. No, it's been pretty topical. We've been on it for a long time, so it wasn't a big deal all at once, and big night.
Anything else? Thank you.